Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the January meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. And this meeting, we are going to talk about the cloud and you. Today's agenda. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the MVCUG business. Then we're going to have our timely tech topics as what's happened in the last month in the world of technology. And then we're going to have our tips of the month and sharing favorites, and got some really good ones for you this month. And then we're going to have our computer lexicon term of the month, which will lead us into our feature presentation, the cloud and you. Then we'll have a short question and answer period. For those of you desiring to connect to the college user Wi-Fi, there is no password, and you connect to the network college user. We do have sponsors for our meetings. Sponsorship is $10 per meeting or $100 per year. You get a slide during the meeting. You get your business talked about. It is posted on our website. It's mentioned in Facebook. Ask around if anybody you know wants to help us sponsor meetings to help defray the cost of the meeting. This month's sponsors, our first one is Carolyn McLean, the Candy Lady. She's got wonderful candles. These candles, if you know anyone who likes candles, these are the ones to get. They're absolutely wonderful. And she's got a special going on this month, 10% off. Use the promo code JAN2023. Our second sponsor is JB Photo and Video, John Buno Photo and Video, covering all of your photographic needs. Just give John a call and let him know what your needs are, and he'll give you a quote. Now on to MVCUG business. The officers. Well, we have John Buno, the president. That's me. And then we have Mike McLean, who's one of our vice presidents. And then we have Barry Van Gordon, who's another one of our vice presidents. And we have our very important Carolyn McLean, our treasurer. And then we have the mysterious Jim Emmons, our webmaster. I, in fact, know that Jim still exists. I had lunch with him this past week, and he is threatening to come to a meeting someday. Then we have our MVCUG website, mvcug.org, where everything is kept up to date on what's going on in the club, the next meeting coming up, the locations, tips and tricks, and all kinds of good stuff. You should go out and check it out at least once a week. We have our Facebook site, which unfortunately is not well populated, but the information up there is good, and we keep abreast of what's going on. Membership benefits. In addition to the online resources we just mentioned, we have a hardware checkout, a film slide scanner and projector. We have professional consultation discounts from myself and Barry. If there's on both of us, if we don't answer, just give us a call back. Our rates are extremely reasonable. And membership in the Mountain View Computer Users Group is $25 per household annually. Membership year is September through August. Pay annual dues to Treasurer Carolyn McLean, and they can be either mail her a check made out to MVCUG to this address, or you can send via PayPal to educatoraz@yahoo.com. And if you are watching this and haven't paid your dues, please, we ask that you do pay your dues. What's coming up? Well, next month we have the second part of this month's presentation on backups, which has a lot to do with the cloud. So if you are wondering about how to back up your system, what backups do, how to use the cloud to back up, what are the best backup strategies, this is the meeting for you. Then in March, we have a special presentation that has been asked for by many people, a discussion on Microsoft 365, how it works, what it does, how you end up paying for it. This should be a really great presentation. And then in April, we've got a really interesting one and the possibility of a guest speaker. We're going to be talking about email services, mail lists, bulk mailing, mail merge, which now can be done on almost any platform, podcasting, what podcasting is about, and blogging. So that's going to be a really information-packed filled meeting. And then coming up in May, we have password management. And by then, a lot in the world of passwords is going to be changing. We are slowly, or actually quite rapidly now, getting away from having to use passwords. So hopefully by the time May comes, passwords will almost be a thing of the past. And then June and July, there's part 1 and part 2 of your digital camera. Now, this is going to be a special presentation on how to use your digital camera and how the camera systems work. Do you have to worry about shutter speeds? How do shutter speeds handle on a digital phone? How are f-stops handled? How is depth of field handled? How is ISO handled? What do these things mean? Can you use your digital camera as a regular camera, your digital camera, such as your phone, as a regular camera, or do you need to go out and get a regular camera? What are things you need to look for? things you can do. And then the July meeting, we're going to be taking a look into the software you use. Once you've taken the picture, what do you do? And then coming up after that, in August, we have what is hopefully going to be How is the Future as the Future Arrive? And this is a carry on from last September in our August meeting when we talked about the future. What is going to happen is what has happened since then. And if the rumors are right, by then there should be some really exciting topics. And then in September, we have our elections and a topics meeting where you get to decide what we're going to be talking about and discussing for the next year. Timely Tech Topics. Everything you didn't know you wanted to know. Here we go. On Fox News, the app reportedly causing all these issues, malware, is MacKeeper. They reported that MacKeeper is actually a viral program. It is purported to keep your Mac safe. It doesn't actually introduce malware into your system. Do not use MacKeeper, okay? This is legit. Tech stocks tanked at the end of the year. Apple stock was at its lowest in 18 months. And then what was very interesting that caught everybody's surprise, Apple announces that iTunes for Windows will have an update and bring it up to the other application standards. We'll have more to say about that as the time comes and find out what's going on with it. And then Apple makes a digital audiobooks easy. What Apple has done, created a system that allows you to create audiobooks very, very easily. And here's the website that talks about it, what authors have to do. But the most important thing is listen to these voices. These are digitized voices that you can use to create it by just giving it the text of your book.
Movement in the greenhouse drew his eye, and a woman emerged. At first, he wasn't sure. The woman was about the right age, but there was something.
Here's another one.
I looked up to find a wall of trees had materialized ahead of us. I hadn't noticed because I'd been staring at my feet.
Here's another one.
On nights with a new moon, we would walk to the end of the beach to find our favorite constellation, the Pleiades.
And here's the fourth one.
I do know that there is an extraordinary sense here of caring and sharing, and that the sharing includes a willingness to join in exercising.
Now, this site tells authors how to get started, how to sign up. What this means is there'll be a lot more digital books available on the Apple Bookstore. So if you're interested, down in the description, there'll be a link on how to get to the site. But this is a real big game changer. Are there any questions about the computer user group itself or anything as we discuss Timely Tech Topics? Since there's no questions, we'll continue. Share a tip of favorites. The first one we're going to talk about is using Siri for seniors.
Hey Siri, do you like Amazon Alexa?
I'm a big fan of good listeners and helpful beings.
Hey, have you ever heard of Siri? My guess is yes, especially if you're watching this video, but in case you don't know, Siri is a tool to control your iPhone or iPad with your voice. I wasn't much of a Siri fan when Apple first released this feature, but I find I use Siri more and more, and for a whole bunch of different things. If you're tired of having to type stuff on a little iPhone screen and you'd like to learn how to control your iPhone by speaking to Siri, then stick around. This short video is for you. Hi, my name is Rich. If this is the first time you visited this channel, then welcome. We're glad you're here. Over the last 2 years, I've been producing simple to follow videos for seniors and beginners on how to use their iPhone and iPad. And today, we're going to take a look at Apple's voice-activated assistant, Siri. And before I get into this, I know that this is not for everyone. My wife is not a fan. She says Siri ignores her or doesn't respond correctly. I have that happen every once in a while too, but there are some basic ways to use Siri that'll make using your iPhone way easier, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Today I'm going to show you how to set up Siri and choose a Siri voice, how to make a phone call using Siri, how to create a reminder using Siri, how to send a text using Siri, how to check the weather using Siri, because you always need to know what the weather is, how to ask Siri for directions, and how to ask Siri for really just about anything. Let's get started. All right, the first thing I want to talk to you about is how to set up Siri and choose a Siri voice. And that's kind of important. To do that, you simply go into Settings, tap on that, scroll down till you get to Siri and Search, tap on that, and make sure you have Listen for Hey Siri turned on. If you don't have that turned on, she won't listen or hear you, and you won't get any kind of response. And when you turn it on for the first time, Siri will ask you a number of questions, and you'll answer those so that Siri can get used to your voice and understand what you're asking. You can also press side button for Siri. That way, if you don't want to use the trigger phrase, "Hey Siri," and by the way, you do have to use that. If you don't say that, Siri will not pop up. So you can't say, "Siri, what time is it?" You have to use the trigger phrase. But if you don't want to do that, you can just use the side button on your phone and press that, and Siri will pop up and you can ask a question. You can also choose the voice that you want to listen to. If you choose Siri voice right here, you can choose American, Australian, British, Indian, Irish, or South African. So if you choose British...
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
I think I like that voice best. And that's how you set up and turn on Siri and choose Siri's voice. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to make a phone call using Siri. You don't have to tap on the phone. You don't have to go into your contacts. You can just simply ask Siri to make a call. Now, the one thing you do need to know is that the phone number that you're asking Siri to call is in your contacts. That's if you ask Siri to call someone by name. Otherwise, you can just tell Siri the phone number and ask her to call. So here's how that works. Hey Siri, call Rhonda.
Calling Rhonda Bolin, mobile.
Hey, just testing out Siri. Thanks for picking up. All right, bye. And that's how you use Siri to make a phone call. Pretty simple. So I use Siri a lot to set up reminders for me. And it's very simple. The Reminders app is where I keep track of grocery lists and things that I need to do. And sometimes I don't want to go into the Reminders app and actually type out whatever it is that I'm needing to remember, but I can just ask Siri to do it. And here's how you do that. Hey Siri, remind me to buy milk tomorrow.
Okay, your reminder is set for tomorrow.
Then if you go into Reminders, you'll see buy milk is set for tomorrow. And that's it. That's how you ask Siri to remind you to do something. You can also ask Siri to send a text message for you if you don't really want to type out a text message. Sometimes typing on the iPhone for me is not the easiest thing. That keyboard is kind of little on there. I'm used to it and I can do it. But you don't have to do that. You can just ask Siri to text someone. And this is how it works. Hey Siri, text Lindsay.
What do you want to say?
I hope you're having a good day! Exclamation point.
Your message to Lindsay says, I hope you're having a good day. Ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, it's sent.
And that's it. That's how easy it is to have Siri send a text message for you. The next thing I want to show you is how to ask Siri about the weather. You know, you've got a weather app on your phone, but sometimes you're not near your phone or you don't want to open the weather app, so you can just ask Siri, and this is how it works. Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
It's currently clear and 57 degrees. Expect mostly cloudy skies starting in the morning. Today's high will be 72 degrees, and the low will be 57.
And that's it. That is really simple. You didn't have to go into the app or anything. You just ask Siri what the weather's going to be today. You can also ask Siri for directions, and you can ask for directions to someone who's listed in your contacts, or even if they're not listed in your contacts, you can ask for directions. And this is how you do it. Hey Siri, give me directions to Home Depot.
One option I found is the Home Depot on Retail Drive in Wake Forest. Is that the one you want?
Yes.
Getting directions to the Home Depot.
And that's all you have to do to get directions using Siri. Really, really simple. You know, the last thing I want to show you is really more humorous than anything else, but you can really ask Siri any question that you want, and she'll be able to answer it for you. For example, hey Siri, do you like the Cincinnati Bengals?
I'm sure the Bengals are very good, but I'm not really one to judge.
Hey Siri, do you like the Los Angeles Rams?
I suppose so. I don't really have an opinion.
Hey Siri, when was Lucille Ball born?
Lucille Ball was born August 6th, 1911.
Hey Siri, do you watch YouTube videos?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
No thanks.
Okay.
So as you can see, you can ask Siri just about anything, like math questions. Hey Siri, what is 547 times 12?
547 times 12 is 6,564.
Once you get the hang of using Siri, you'll find out just how useful she can be. And it's really handy to be able to just ask Siri something without having to go on your phone and, type something out. Siri can do way more than I just covered, but my goal in this video was to just show you the basics and maybe get you interested in using Siri. Let me know in the comments below if you use Siri and if Siri works for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Now, the next thing I want to show you, and this is not a full demonstration. This is just a teaser demonstration of an application I've been playing with for about the past 3 weeks. First off, I want to make it very clear, I am not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. I can't draw at all. I have no artistic ability except with a camera. Came across a program called Procreate that uses the Apple Pencil. Yeah, I know, that's its name. Turns the iPad into an incredible drawing apparatus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you.
How do you know if your hand will work with the Apple Pencil?
You find out which version of the iPad you have and if it supports the pencil or not.
I just really old iPad.
Almost all the iPads from about generation 5 forward will work with the pencil, but not all of the features of the pencil. I'm in Procreate right now. Grab my pencil. I'm going to show you these are some of the things that I have done in the past 2 weeks. That's a sunset that I did, and I drew this. Now, yes, I'm using a class on YouTube as the basis for it, but I did all of this work. Here's another one. A waterfall that I did. Barry hasn't seen this one. Still life, oranges. And the grapes I did all by myself. This was not a part of the class. Just based upon what I learned by doing the oranges, I went into the grapes. I'm going to show you some of the things that makes this really cool. One of the things is the number of brushes. You get all kinds of brushes with this. One that I really like, you have airbrushes, and I'll show you that in a second. Where is it? Calligraphy. The calligraphy, and I believe it's a water pen. That's not the pen I wanted. Brush pen. That is doing calligraphy, and I can't do calligraphy. You can rotate canvases. Drop this down just a little bit. It's pressure sensitive. It's magnetic with this particular brush. We have other brushes. I can draw shapes. Now, what I'm going to get a different pen to do this with. Okay, I'm going to draw a circle. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now watch. I hold it, and it draws a perfect circle for me. Do that again. This time I'm going to get pure black. I have a full array of colors. I have palettes I can create. Now watch, that's my circle, perfect circle. I can go in, and this is the really cool part. I can come in and I can shade. Oh, whoops, that's why I can't shade. I have to have something to shade. There we go. There we go. Now I have a white ball. Now I'm going to change my pen color over to black, and I'm going to turn on alpha lock. Not just yet. And I'm going to come in here, and I can shade. And my pencil's like this. Now, it's supposed to be an alpha lock right now. Did I not turn on? No, I didn't turn on alpha lock. Alpha lock is on. I was going all over, but it's staying right, so I don't have to worry about going beyond the lines. It does it for me. I have the ability to do alpha lock. I can do masking. I can invert. I have layers, blending modes. I can drop the opacity on any given layer. Different blending modes I can use. I know this is not for everybody. I just want to let you know that it is available. Send me over your which one are you going to play it to? I'll accept it right here.
It comes up with you, I don't know which device it's to think.
Okay. Is that what you did? Barry did this, and he just found out about the program this morning, okay? And he's used airbrushes, splattering brushes. The amount, one of the cool brushes. Barry, you're going to love this one. Let me show you what one of the brushes you can do. I'm going to come back here. This is a brush that's available. Come on, why aren't you? Alpha lock's on. It's a character. I can change the size, and then I can go in now. You have unlimited undos. I can go and change my brush back to, I can come in and go in and draw
That's not what I want to do. Okay, I want to add a new layer, and then on my new layer, I can go in and add eyes, a mouth, a nose, and I have a character, cartoon character, that quickly. Now, I could go in, if I had any talent, I could do a much better job. Now, this brush costs extra, but it's not, the gal does it, Genevieve. It's a $150 package I got for $10. And she had a super sale going on. So, I mean, you have all kinds of brushes, illustration, freckles. I want to add freckles. I could go in waterfalls. Where's artistic?
Find the...
No, you watch YouTube videos and you download them from there. So that is Procreate. It has allowed me to do things I've never been able to do before. And, granted, I know they're not that good, but for me, they're amazing. My sister, who is an artist, passed out when she saw that I had actually done something that looked like an orange. So there's that. We've got two things that it's $12.99 in the App Store. One-time price, comes with everything. Barry, how does this compare to the one you were looking at?
It's actually, but I had to have it before it did the sketching.
Oh, yeah. For sketching, you use a layer. As a matter of fact, I've learned in drawing, you start off with a sketch, a rough sketch. From that, you go in and pen it in. From that, you add the colors. Then you add the detail. Doing it that way, the one that I did is I did a duck. Granted, I brought an image of a duck in, and I traced the duck. Now I'm going in and coloring it the way I want to, adding feathers in, and then I'm going to make him walk. Oh, yeah, Procreate's got a very primitive, but it's their animation system where you can go in and animate. It's a lot of fun. And for $13, I mean, if you want to do it, at any time, I'm trying to get to college to do a class on this. And you know what they said? You want to teach it? I think, no, I want to be a student. Okay. And the problem is they don't have nobody down there knows anything about digital drawing programs.
I need to learn how to do the program and apply it.
I wish it was that simple. Okay. One of the other things, Pages has got a feature that most people don't know about. And so we're going to go into Pages, and I'm going to show you something really cool. This is a Pages document. I can only have one page, one window. If you go over to View and, oh, come on, John, where is it? Is it View or Arrange? See, I have the wrong glasses on. I can't see anything. Oh, there it is. It's in Format, Show All Tabs. I want Format. Okay, do I want Format, Arrange, Show Tab Bar? You now have a tab bar where I can go in. There it is, right over here on the far left right-hand side. I can now click that, and I can go in, and I now have tabs in Pages. So there's that document. There's that document. I can go back and forth between the two documents and cut and paste. It's been there apparently for a while, but nobody knows about it, okay? So I thought that was kind of cool.
It was most of the Apple apps for the Mac when they put it into the Finder. It became a feature in the Finder. It also was a bit of other apps.
And I'll show you here's my cookbook I'm working on, How to Cook Without a Recipe. It's up to 18 pages so far, and there's my table of contents. Okay, and let's go back in. Something a lot of people don't know about, and Windows has this too, but I don't know what they have anymore in them. A plethora of applications that come with your machine that they never tell you about. I just made a list, and I'm going to go ahead and show you some of these. These are all applications that come with your Mac that they don't tell you about that do all kinds of neat things. Did you know you have a sticky notes application where you put sticky notes on your screen? It's been there since voice memos, weather app now, a calculator, a chess game. I'll show you this chess game. I don't want to play with anybody. That's the chess game you get. And you can sit and play chess. I'm trying to remember how
A2S6.
Human versus computer. Start. Okay.
9G A2S6. 9 got 6 TZ.
That was stupid on your part, John.
Okay.
9D4 2SD.
It's gone into retreat. Okay, so that's a chess game. Some of the other ones, go down and show you. I have them applications, not that applications, this applications. What did I call that stupid thing? There's a list, there it is. What did I call it? Hidden applications? That's not it. Oh, come on. You ever have one of those days? What did I call these are all aliases that I set up. I could just go in and show you. No, that's not it. Well, there's one in here called Graph I didn't know about. and it is a 2D and 3D graphing program. It's amazing. Okay, you can't enlarge it. You can't get any, but it will graph. It's a graphing calculator. You got voice memos, and so what you need, go through and play with them. A font book. We use fonts all the time. You never know which ones you have. Font book is a way of going and seeing all of your fonts that you have available to you. Okay. Automator is a way of automating tasks on a Mac. Can be used in conjunction with, Barry, help me, the Automator on iOS. Shortcuts. It can be used with shortcuts, but it's far more powerful. You have a digital color meter. You got the screenshot application that you can invoke with Command Shift. The old system information is available in utilities. So go in and take a look and see what's there. Calculator is a great calculator. Voice memos. We have that available on our iPhones. Most people don't realize you have the same thing available on your Mac. And get this, if you take a voice memo on your iPhone, it shows up in the voice memo on your Mac without you doing anything. It automates things to the cloud.
You're locked into the safe.
Okay, and we have a video. I thought this was a video.
Good morning. My name is Mike McLean, and today we're going to discuss how to reset a PC using either Windows 10 or 11. And after you've had a PC for a couple of years, you might start to notice that it's running a little bit slow or get a little bit glitchy, and you might want to refresh Windows. A lot of us used to do this maybe once a year or so to reinstall Windows and just make sure that we didn't have a lot of dead files laying around. Refreshing a PC used to involve 3 important steps. First was backing off all your data, which meant you had to make sure that you had some place to back your data to, a jump drive or something. Then you had to find your installation disks, your copy of Windows, and make sure you had the product key and all that. And then you had to reload all your data once you formatted, put all the windows back on, and then put the data back. Current versions of Windows 10 and 11 provide a more streamlined method of performing this task. And that's what we're going to look at. So in order to reset your PC, we are going to go to the Start menu and Start Up Settings. And from there, we'll go to Update and Security and the Recovery section about halfway down. And the very first option is Reset this PC. If your PC isn't running well, resetting it might help. This lets you choose or to keep your personal files or remove them, and then reinstalls Windows. So we'll hit Get Started. And since I'm running a user account, of course, it wants me to put it in admin account, and that gives me access. And first it comes up with a couple of options. One is Keep My Files, removes apps and settings, but keeps your personal files. And the other is Remove Everything. It removes all of your personal files, apps, and settings. So if you were selling your PC or giving it to somebody else and you didn't want to have any of your own information on it, then you would select Remove Everything. If you're just doing a refresh for yourself in order to make it run a little faster, you're probably going to want to Keep My Files. So let's select that, and it's going to give me a little message that it's thinking about it. And then it asks, how would you like to reinstall Windows? I have a couple of options here. One is I can actually download a fresh copy of Windows from the cloud. It requires 4 gigs of data on the hard drive. Or you can do a local reinstall, since Windows keeps a local copy of itself. If you do choose cloud download, it will warn you that it takes more than 4 gigs of data. I'm going to choose a local reinstall. Then it tells me what the settings I have, restore apps and settings that came with the PC, and reinstall Windows from this device. And there's one link here, change settings, you're going to want to look at. Because again, it says, do you want to reinstall Windows from this device? Yes. But also restore pre-installed apps. This will restore apps and settings which came with the PC. It probably won't reinstall commercial things that came with your PC originally, but if you're a vendor like Hewlett-Packard, if they had optimization software installed, this will probably put that. So I'm going to confirm, and we double check our settings and say next. And again, getting things ready. This won't take long. And then it says ready to reset this P and what it will do. And I do not want to do this, so I'm going to cancel at this point. Now I'm going to go through this one more time to show you the other option and take you all the way through that. If I say remove everything, again, this won't take long. Again, do you want a cloud download or a local reinstall? I'll do a local reinstall. And now I'm going to go to change settings again. Here's the important part of this one. Again, this is something you do if you're giving your PC to somebody else or selling it. This gives you the option, do you want to clean data? If you say no, it'll just remove your files, which is quicker. If you say yes, then it's going to clean you the drive, which means it is going to remove all the files and then cover all the blank space with random ones and zeros to make it very hard to recover any of your data from somebody else. So you're probably not going to want to do that. It depends on what you're doing. It's going to take a while. Another option it gives is, do you want to delete files from all drives or just your Windows drive? For example, I have a USB drive hooked up externally. And if I were to select this, then it would not only wipe out my main Windows drive, but all the other drives that are hooked to this computer. So be aware of that. And again, download Windows from this device. I will confirm, and then we check our settings here, remove Apple files, not a clean drive, delete all the files only, and reinstall Windows from this device. And if you hit next, it'll take you to that last confirmation screen, which I'm not even going to go to. So that is how we reset a PC using Windows 10 or 11.
And you can tell I was a little paranoid about do not click go.
Good presentation, Mike. Do we have any questions on what we've covered that do not deal with the cloud? Because we're going to go in the cloud presentation right after an upcoming break. Questions? Okay, let's take a quick 5-minute break. Nobody wants to take a break? No? Okay, then we'll move right along. We're back for the break. Term of the month. What is the cloud? The cloud, in computer terms, is the practice of storing regularly used computer data on multiple servers that can be accessed through the internet. That can be a storage device. It can be applications. One of the cloud applications we know as the World Wide Web. Do you know when you access a website, do you know where that computer is? You just type in an address and you get it. In fact, you don't even type in addresses anymore. You just type in, hey, images of a duck. And all of a sudden you get, out of nowhere, it appears images of a duck. That's the cloud. That you don't care where it is, how it works. It's just there. You can use it for storage, or you can use it for applications. This is a presentation I put together that I hope will explain a lot about how can individuals use the cloud. What is a computer cloud? Before we can discuss how to use the cloud, it's important to understand what a computer cloud is. A computer cloud is like an imaginary storage room in the sky. It's like an online locker that stores things like data, software, and websites. You can access the things stored in the cloud from any device that has an internet connection, like a phone or a laptop. That means you can get things you need no matter where you are. It's a cool way to stay connected. Imagine that the cloud is like an additional disk drive on your system, as well as an extension of the computer you are using for accessing information. In this presentation, we will discuss 5 ways individuals can use the cloud. Are you looking for the perfect streaming service to listen to your favorite audio, watch videos, or enjoy other multimedia? Look no further. Streaming services today offers you crystal clear sound, high-quality videos, and an ever-increasing range of multimedia content. Streaming services are the perfect way to stay in touch with the world, with updated news from around the world at your fingertips. You can access streaming services on any device, anytime, anywhere. There is a wide range of content available across a variety of genres to suit your needs. So whether you're looking for educational content, music, movies, or television shows, there is something for you. Examples of these services include Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, YouTube, Paramount Plus, just to name a very few. Today, almost any channel you can view from a cable or over-the-air service, you can view via a streaming service. The advantage to streaming is that you can view when you want, not a pre-programmed time. You can also add premium channels to most subscription services, so you can watch exclusive shows and movies from your favorite network. So you can watch shows on your phone, tablet, laptop, or TV, whatever works best for you. With subscription models, you pay only for what you want and can cancel at any time. Thanks to modern technology, access to files and documents is easier than ever. With remote access, you can now access your documents from anywhere at any time. All you need is an internet connection. You can also use cloud storage services to store and share your documents with other users. These services offer easy access to your files and make collaboration a breeze. With cloud storage, you don't have to worry about losing your documents or running out of storage space. Examples of these services are iCloud, OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox, to name a few. All these have a free and paid service. For those of you looking for more secure storage solutions, there are services that offer encrypted data storage. Working with your team and colleagues to develop projects and documents just got a whole lot easier. With many applications today, you can invite others to view your work in progress, even allowing them to make changes or leave suggestions. You can collaborate with others in real time or when they have time on documents, projects, and any other creative ideas you have. What an amazing way to get things done quickly and efficiently. Cloud-based services individuals can access businesses data, and important documents from any location and any device with an internet connection. You can have your latest insurance document whenever you need them. Need to apply for a credit card? That can be done online, and most of the time with an approval within minutes, not days. Need to transfer money? No longer is an ATM necessary. You can do all of your banking, including paying bills with your mobile device, all of this thanks to the cloud. Cloud computing is being used increasingly by small and large businesses alike. From startups to enterprises, many organizations are leveraging the power of cloud-based services to get more work done quicker and at a lower cost. Protecting your data and never worrying about losing important documents or pictures again just got a lot easier thanks to the cloud. With cloud storage, you can easily back up and store all of your important files safely. Since backing up your data is so important, there will be an upcoming presentation on this single topic. As you have seen, the cloud has become an integral part of our computing lives. Take advantage of it. Look for ways you can use the cloud to make your life easier. These are just discussion topics. First thing I want to do is go in and show you how to turn on cloud syncing. I'm going to go into system preferences.
Just our process set.
System.
Turn on cloud syncing first. On cloud syncing first.
Why? Do you enjoy losing data? Do you own more than one device? Those are the two best reasons I can think of to turn it on. Because if you have it turned on, then you can get to that information on any of your devices, including Windows, easily. You never have to worry about losing it because you can automatically update to the cloud. Like my iPad, my iPhone, automatically get backed up all of my documents.
So is this platform not like cloud, but when you're using cloud for syncing your devices, does it matter what the kind of product you're using device?
It's
the same for a Windows person as it would be for a Mac.
Yes, maybe, sort of. If you have an iOS or a Mac, automatic and transparent to you. If you're on a Windows machine currently, you have to do it manually. It's not automatic. On a Mac, iOS device, if I put something into my iCloud Documents folder, it shows up on all of my Apple devices almost instantaneously. A Windows machine, I have to go in and physically move it into the iCloud Documents folder on the Windows machine. Not too terribly easy.
Document thing you have to do?
Yes. Windows has its own iteration, but nowhere near as sophisticated as this. They never had the Surface. The Surface and Windows don't sync.
Microsoft 365 with
that's sort of a different issue, but it is a similar issue. 365 does sync, but let's say you're using something else on Windows, anything else. You don't have, like we have a Documents folder that automatically syncs.
Products you talk to each other. Apple's products can through Flap.
They can not talk to each other, they can sync. Data can be synced through all the devices.
That's accurate to say.
Syncing, yes. Windows does not have the capability of syncing all documents like Mac does, or Apple does. They have a similar function that has just been introduced into OneDrive that is sort of similar, but it is not the same. It's like it.
Sending one a switch you can let that will say, okay, my documents folder is now on OneDrive. And it says that if you enable backup in OneDrive, that's also because we'll start about last time. If you enable backup on OneDrive, it will back up every device that you're signed into that account with. But it does not make this clear at all. It also syncs every device you have. So, for example, which is not good for me because I do a lot of manual manipulation. But when I did that, I wound up having desktop icons for shortcuts on my desktop computer. All of a sudden, those same shortcuts were now on my laptop, with shortcuts that were leading to programs that I did not have installed on it. More than just your files and your document. Well, it was synchronizing every device, which is great if you know this from the beginning. Yeah, but
I think that was the coolest thing when I refused to do all that.
And then I'm like, I have this theme on my desktop.
So if OneDrive is in a Windows user can potentially have multiple devices.
Potentially, yes.
Have backup on. Just save everything to your OneDrive, and you'll be able to see it on every device that beside it to you.
Okay.
Well, there are similar ways, but it's
nowhere near as transparent.
Yeah.
Okay, sync cloud settings, iCloud settings specifically. First place is go under your name and your Apple ID to iCloud. Open that up and you will see iCloud Drive, iCloud Mail is on, and then Photos. You have all applications that can use the cloud listed here, and you can turn those on or off. That's number one. And you have like private relay. I don't recommend turning it on yet. Oh, no problems?
Well, the second.
Okay, because I had with my banking applications, they would not.
So what is it?
Private relay is like a VPN, a virtual private network that hides who you are and where you are, so your location is not given out, your IP address isn't given out, so people can't track you.
So having that turned on is beneficial.
Yeah, it's what Apple first of all tried to say.
Why not?
I have had problems with sites. Yeah, they don't like it. Mainly my financial institutes that are looking for a location. Hold it. Do I have that? I do not. It is turned off. I've been having nothing but trouble lately with my banking, not knowing who I am, and I have to go back and re-log in every time.
It's very...
But banking for sure, I had that problem. Yeah, because the banking wants to know your location to verify who you are. Private relay does not give your location out. It gives nothing out, and the banking applications don't like that.
Level where you can allow a regional location to be revealed.
Oh, okay. I may look into that again.
Somewhere in Arizona or somewhere in the Southwest. But by default, it's off. I'll leave it off. There's no reason for me to turn it on.
Okay, the second place, and this is the critical one, internet accounts. You come down here and you go through each of your accounts and you tell it explicitly what you want turned on and off. Let's go up here to John Biano. I want my mail, contacts, calendars, reminders, and notes from that account to the cloud. I do not want all of my accounts to do that, because then when I create something, I'm not sure where it's getting created. So choose your primary account along with your iCloud account. Mail, everybody has to be on if you want mail from that account. Contacts, only have one contact. I recommend that you only have one account deal with calendars, especially if you're going to be sharing calendars. Reminders, one account, because you can end up having multiple reminders and getting created and you don't know where they end up being. And so if you turn one off, you don't know where it is.
If I remember correctly, if I'm at one person may check all of these off, but then have everybody else leave alone.
No. Each individual. These, I have multiple email accounts. So I choose my primary email account, and that's the one that I turn everything on for. All the rest of them, I just do mail. Each individual within your family, you do the same thing, and you just share from that one account.
As an example, I have my other 2 or 3 accounts going into my Gmail. I'd share my Gmail.
That is a way of doing it, yes. I'm talking about contacts, calendars, reminders, and notes.
But I only have one of all of those.
Well, you're doing it right. You could have one of each of those for each email address you have, and you don't want to do that. This does not include photos. Photos is handled separately, but you do the same thing for photos down here in...
The settings app at iPadOS, I'm assuming for the full iOS too. There is an internet account.
You do it, yeah, but it's done under the in the Mail app, isn't it? No, it's there on iOS.
Well, if looking in the sidebar, there's not an internet account. It must be a sub area underneath something else.
Under Mail.
Oh.
If you're on, this is my iPad, and it's found in Mail, and you get the same thing. So that's it. That's where it is in iOS. macOS, it has its own separate category. But do those 2 things, and then it automatically takes over, and you don't have to think about it ever again. There is one more that you have to do. Yeah, when you turn on iCloud Drive, that automatically turns that on where your desktop and documents folder are in sync everywhere around. Now, here's the cool part. I'm going to go into Safari. I'm going to go to iCloud.com. I'm going to sign in with my Apple ID using my fingerprint. This is what you get anywhere in the world that you have an internet connection on any known device, whether it be Windows, Linux, iOS, macOS. If it's a web browser on an IBM mainframe, you get this. Anybody's computer. I've got my mail. I've got my drive with all my documents in it. I got my calendar. I've got my notes.
Is this a way that you could
What?
sync up Windows add-on?
Yes, I could add things via this, and they'll show up.
Yeah.
And this is where he was mentioning earlier, like try to troubleshoot everything about. But you create something by default, go to this website, go to the document where you save.
If it's there, like add in a new calendar. Where's calendar? There's calendar. This is my calendar. If it doesn't show it out, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go into my calendar and let's add in. I just added an event for today. There it is. I just entered that, and that's how fast it took to sync. If that does not happen, that means on one of the between you and the cloud, that means on the device that you did it on you did not make those settings right, because it should happen pretty much that fast. And I don't remember. Oh, there it is.
But sometimes it's more like 5 minutes.
From your place.
I'm at my computer. I'm sitting at my desktop, and I do something on my phone. And
at your internet connection in your house, I would wait 2 days, maybe 3.
Not the internet connection. It's locked.
No, your internet connection. It is slow up there. Oh, you want to hear spoiled? When I was in Florida, in Orlando, they have 5 ultra wide. Using that, I was getting upload speeds of over 300 megabits per second upload. I mean, download was about 20, which is still fast. I mean, uploads of about 20, downloads of over 300. I saw that and I said, no, this has got to be wrong. There's no way I can get that kind of speed. I went and did it again. It's the new 5G standard ultra wide. And you'll see here, they're testing here in Sierra Vista. They have run into some problems with it. That's why it has not been implemented full blown. You'll see it pop up every once in a while. Don't know the exact nature of the problems, but apparently there is something holding it up, because it was supposed to be implemented in January. January is almost over. Actually, it's supposed to be implemented in December. But you'll see it'll say 5UW on your phones. Here right now, it's not that fast. When it gets fully implemented, it is fast. I just couldn't believe that. That's what we have. Does that answer your question on how to sync? Okay.
And I was going to ask back what and that is, people don't share on iCloud, right?
That's each individual, yes. But you can share documents to collaborate. And Apple's done a fantastic job of doing that. My daughter, my wife, and I all have a family account. So anytime I buy an application, they get free use of it. Collaborating lists, shopping lists, this is great, okay? I make a shopping list, I share it with my wife. She can add to it, I can add to it, and it's all kept in sync. And I mean, literally, I have dropped her off at Safeway while I'm parking the car. I will add an item to the list, and it will show up before I can walk into Safeway.
And that's the reusing sharing.
No, you don't have to use family sharing to do that. All you have to do is share the list. There's a little, if you see the icon, let's go into reminders. And what I'm going to do is create a new reminder, and then come over here and see where, oh, come on. Where's share on the Mac? I never use the Mac to do this.
If you right click, Barry, do you know where share is?
Where's share on the Mac, Barry? I want to share this.
Well, now it's up in the top quarter to that one.
So, oh, there it is. You look for that symbol right there. I have a list. I'm going to share that. Open it up. I can choose who I want to share it with by mail, message. I can share it to a note, send this reminder to a note. But for us right now, it'd be either mail or message, where I would send it to them. They have to open it, and it automatically goes into the reminders.
Let's stay here, though, for me to ask this question. Told me about family sharing. On my device, I click in.
Right. And what you are sharing that way are movies, music, applications. You are not sharing documents. Not at all.
It does put a family calendar.
Yeah, it does do that. There is a special calendar.
One thing versus you were talking about here, which is, I think, another application to share.
Yeah, documents from that application.
This part I get. The other one I just was unclear on.
Okay. With Family Share, I think Family Calendar is the only one that is automatically established.
So an album created in the Photos app.
I'll have to look that one up.
So there's like 5 things that you're...
One of the things that is available, and what I'm going to do is show you that right now, that a fantastic use of the cloud is called FreeForm, if I can find it. It's a brand new app, and it is basically a whiteboard.
Infinite whiteboard?
Yeah.
It showed up. I just wrote something up to see what would happen.
This is this meeting that we did to collaborate, putting together our thoughts, our ideas. That red crayon right there, Barry just wrote that. Do it again someplace else.
July red crayon.
And watch how fast it shows up. I just watched him do that. That was in real time. Now this has, all the things, that we did here.
And those are sticky.
Well, these are sticky notes. Barry, put a sticky note over here. These are the videos they had. I put all this together. Barry's going to add a sticky.
There we go. And what is this that we're looking?
So that's how it's done. No, you're off now.
Oh yes, there's a little note.
Do I understand that we're right now in FreeForm on a page, a white page of FreeForm?
Yes, on a whiteboard.
And you all collaborated this white page into this page that we're looking.
Yes. I added the blocks, I added the text, and as we go through and get ideas, you put them in, and it does show. Now, the one thing it doesn't show you who put this in easily. I don't know who left this note.
Not after the fact.
And that's the one thing. Yeah, while he's editing it, I can tell who it is. But after the fact, I don't know who left that note.
About it, I wish it had like in Pages and Keynote where they have the sidebar where you can get data on coordinates and sizes, and you can mathematical dimensions of something.
For a whiteboard application, it's got some really great features to it, and especially the collaboration. Because Mike has his iPad. Right now, it is...
Well, that's probably would be of this is it requires iOS 16 and above. iPad. And
you can't do 16 yet?
Is it on my iPad? I don't like to. I don't use my iPad as a reader. I do not like to work on an iPad.
You need to get a pencil. It is not available through iCloud.com yet. Why? I don't know. I'm sure that's coming. It's through iCloud.com.
Available as an iCloud.com on an interface there is short like Windows interface, or to get the Pages and Keynote on that FreeForm stuff area. They can't use it on Windows desktop, which is where I do all my work.
Right. Okay.
So and you have the capability of adding shapes. I mean, you have an incredible shapes library. I mean, I've got buses. I can make bigger.
6 foot wide.
And I'm going to show you. I'm going to keep dropping this down. That is as far down as it'll go. I can go add stuff, and it just keeps expanding. Now, I find it a little clumsy. On the iPad, it is just slick as silk. And I do all of my work on the iPad for it.
I use it on the back family tree on it.
Well, one of the things I've done.
Why are you using that instead of Basis?
Because it has a feature called connecting line. So I could have a line that goes from a couple to their offspring. And then if I build those elements, didn't follow. It's a little clunky.
But Pages doesn't work.
I'm not sure I have, not sure. You have to, that's the only one that connects. Then you take a blue dot and connect it to a lock. When it's highlighted, it's got to be highlighted. There you go. Now click on the green dot, and you can change the kind of line it is. The far right icon, yeah, you can put an arrow on it. That's about it. Use the far right icon on that pop-up. Far right, yeah. And you can use it, use the middle of it, those straight lines. And then you can drag that green line around and change go.
Connect. So can you connect two of those lines together?
No, unfortunately you can't. That's other fishing clunkiness I encounter. So if I'm trying to connect a couple to an offspring, I just put both husband and wife inside another box around them both.
You have to work.
Yeah, I have to cut this. Yeah. Just use ancestor on count of that. Yeah, it probably does. But you got to pay for an account. You do it.
So I think family tree will do the same. Very in back tree and all that plate.
I love the Ask family tree. I've looked at
level ancestry thing's a guy thing, and I'm not sure. My brother is into it too.
I actually got a message last month from somebody say, I'm in your family tree, and I don't know why. I was thinking about that. She is the aunt of my nephew's wife.
Yeah, how did she learn she was in her family tree?
Oh, I got to tell you this one. I got this thing the other day saying, we just identified a second cousin, Watkins. After a lot of research, I discovered my uncle's third wife maiden name was Watkins. I thought this was interesting because one of my best friends' maiden name is Watkins. In 1843, her side of the family changed the spelling. So we are now cousins by marriage. If I'd have been close enough, she would have thrown something at me. But you just saw how fast I did it. I could share this with Barry. He could add to it. I just come over here. It's now been shared to the officer group. They have it, and they can start commenting on it. Now, going back to the discussion topics, any questions on streaming audio, video, and other multimedia and the use of the cloud? The cloud, by the way, is what allows us to do that.
Because I know Nick's biggest argument, and I think I've heard the answer, is would it be accurate to say that using the iCloud is equally safe to using an external hard drive?
Oh, very easy. I can go up and go into your home and steal an external drive, okay? Try stealing an iCloud drive, breaking into iCloud, okay? It's hard enough when you have the password, okay? Without a password, forget it. Because after, 5 failed attempts, it's locked. And you have to go back in and wait or get with Apple and have it unlocked. If you go in after, I think it's 24 hours, so many times, Apple locks the account and you've got to go back in and prove you're you. So the cloud is actually, and the data going to the cloud is encrypted. Data going that you can, not easily, but you can intercept the signal to your drive and capture data. You have to be sitting right outside the house, but it can be done.
Right here with this question is password. We've talked about password.
Yeah, 1Password.
The one that's on my Mac.
Oh, heavens, yes.
Save as another. You talked about another one.
1Password -lane.
Gary, why will I have another one?
Capabilities, ease of use.
Details limited to password. They've added the credit generate password, or of course, servers will auto-fill all that information. Other third-party password managers add more capabilities. How use 1Password to add the whole section for software licenses. So
More like the state deposit or
sort of just if you're noticed like with documents, then they're encrypted. Notice this will be the topic of password meeting.
Yes, for this very reason.
Because keychain.
Keychain is very secure.
Call my Windows device. I want to log into iCloud. I bring up the website. I put in my username and password. I then get a notification on my iPhone say, someone is trying to log into your account. You want to allow it? Yes, allow. Great. Here's a 6-digit PIN to put in. It's got 2 levels of multi-factor authentication.
Yes.
That's cute because an Apple device is using Apple's proprietary connection, is not using the phone's, cellular SMS, which could be, it can be done on that more. So
it's within Apple's structure.
Yeah. So it's a good area. And in other words, another thing about the safety of cloud storage is Apple, Microsoft, Dropbox, any of these services, they've got multiple server farms in multiple parts of the world, provide redundancy. So your files are not just in one place. They're copies and they're distributed so that if you have a massive failure at the server, you're not going to lose your data because it's copied redundantly someplace else in the world.
So what you just said applies to
any cloud service.
It's worth it to price. Oh, we did wait.
So any other questions on multimedia services in the cloud? How about accessing files and documents? Google Drive is good. Dropbox is good. iCloud is good. OneDrive is good. They all have their minor peculiarities. One is not drastically better than the other. You get a little bit more with Google Drive to start off with, but they charge you more as you go up the tiers. Apple's prices are still pretty low. If you don't use it, I suggest that you do. It's a good way to keep your documents safe. We talked about collaboration on projects. Collaborating is, years ago, collaborating was picking up the phone and talking to somebody or traveling to them. Now, if I need to sign a document, they send it to me, I sign it and send it back. We can have Zoom sessions. Video conferencing is commonplace. We can have, like right now with the book I'm writing, I have a number of people, friends of mine, reading it and giving me comments back. And my sister gives me all kinds of comments. Like, why are you doing this? Another one of my friends says, who is this being written for? He said, I think it's pretty good, but who's your target audience? I forgot to put that in. But that is now commonplace. You can collaborate and just, think beyond business applications. Planning a family reunion. FreeForm would be perfect for that. You have people, weddings. Perfect venue, especially if you have people from out of town, especially if you have to worry about seating arrangements. Okay, so that is available to you. Cloud-based applications, you are probably using these and not even knowing it.
Well, as you're talking about what you're saying there, why can't you use FreeForm instead of Pages? The amount of options.
Oh yeah, FreeForm is designed for collaboration. It has as FreeForm isn't. Pages is a word processing document, and giving I started out my book in FreeForm. Then it went to Notes. Then I realized this is getting way too big for Notes. I moved it over to Pages. I still doodle in FreeForm with ideas until I get them enough to bring it over to Pages. Cloud-based, you've been mentioning them here. MyHeritage is a cloud-based application. Do you know where that computer is? Is that application on your computer? Did you download anything to use it? Probably not. You might have downloaded a small file that gives you access to. I don't know if Heritage has changed that or not. You used to have to download a very small file to get into MyHeritage. Banking applications. There's nothing on your computer to do that with. Now, what's nice is on the iPhone, they have customized applications that make it easier for you to get in. But still, all the work is done in the cloud, and you don't know where that is. I bank with Chase. I have no earthly idea where the Chase computer is. I don't know where the Apple computers are. I think they're in Texas, but I'm not sure. Or North Carolina, or possibly both.
Eastern Oregon, you do that.
Is that what actually been?
Denmark.
Like, when you file your taxes, the same thing. Those are cloud-based applications. We use them all the time and don't even realize it. Backup and store data is going to be next month. I am a big believer in this. I'm paranoid about backing up. I back up to the iCloud. I back up locally on Time Machine. I back up with another service called Blaze to make sure. And I lost a drive the other night. And so I just went up to Backblaze. I said, would you please send me a thumb drive with all my data on it so I can restore my drive? 4 days, I get a little thumb drive with all my data on it from the last time it backed up. And it backs up at least every night. Time Machine backs up a minimum every hour that you're using the machine. But we'll be talking about backups. And, so, because that subject is so vast, that's why there's a whole separate meeting devoted to it. Okay. Questions. Here you go. Now you can ask questions.
After I switched to, last year around this time, the last operating system I can do on prior to that, I had in Google Slide, I had created a bunch of, I can't find them anywhere. And I looked and looked and looked. I thought, oh, maybe I put it in a different thing. But ever since, I fit in, and I don't see how that's possible because they're
No, Google, you're up on the Google Drive. Did you change accounts?
I only have the laws and email.
And some get quite Ventura because of Apple, how Apple has changed security level of the operating system. Google Drive app and Dropbox as well. Anything that provides a Finder
interface.
The server had to be rewritten, distributed, and it works differently than you.
Okay, Google Drive shows up with everything I had in there before, but so I don't have a problem with Google Drive, but in Google Slides.
Slides. Yeah, that's their online video.
I will be using it again because I had way over 30 meg per beat.
They should still be there.
I don't have any idea where the hell they went. So I looked in other things. I'm thinking that there's another Google that I couldn't have made them in, but it looks there.
Should be saved to your Google Drive.
So Slides should be saved to my Google.
There should be a folder on your Google Drive.
See Google Drive. They're not in there.
Did you accidentally delete them?
How? I don't even know how to delete them. I would have had to hand deleted them. Right. No. Yeah, so, okay, I'm done. But,
Okay, any other questions? Okay, with that, whoop, wait, another question.
autofill. We talked about my autofill showing up with Nick's name. I went through and looked at all the places that I could find and removed Nick's name. And now nothing comes up for autofill on my map. Or I don't know what, yeah, no, on my phone something comes up now. But on my map,
Go into contacts, find your contact on your Mac, and make sure that it is set up that that's you. That's what it sounds like has happened in contacts. Here is me.
Thing. So you don't have to type in.
And go down here under card. It says go to my card. That is not active. Then it'll say make this my, you see up here it says make this my card.
and that means the owner of the computer.
Right. Let's say I'll go in here, make this my card. I don't want to do that, but that's where it is. It's under a card because that's not me. Yes, and that was dimmed. It wasn't available because that was me. Okie dokie. Well, folks, thank you all very much.